live for some live Star Wars CCG action. Final confrontation of the Omega Mega World, and we have Sam Tashima playing against Mike Kessling. They're sorting out which side Mike wants to play, because I think he finished first and Sam second. And yeah, they have to use the same list they played in the event, which you can find on StarWarsCCG.org. So Mike Kessling, ROTS Vader, should play ROTS Vader and WHAP, and Sam should be playing ROTS Maul and Hitko. So we have match play, we have both sides, and we're just waiting for Mike that he confirms that he's ready, and then we jump right in. Mike is here troop and some numbers, and Sam is Yoshi on Gemp or Gemp, or however you want to pronounce it. And as long as they are not starting the game, we can take a quick look at their lists. Start with ROTS Vader. Okay, he's playing the Vader V, which can pull some interrupts, namely Vader's Anger he can pull, and lightsaber parry. And what's the no space at all. And he's playing then against Hitko, which also plays no system probably, but yeah, no system. So we will definitely see a lot of battles. Let's see if they're still not starting the game. Nope, they haven't started yet. I tell them that I already started the stream. Maybe that makes some pressure. And yeah. Mike Kessling is asking something on Slack. Maybe then we can start. So Mike is saying he's ready in a minute. So just a little bit patient. Until then, we are taking a look at the other side, which is WHAP against ROTS Maul. So also very interactive game, because there will be a lot of battles, I guess. Let's see what's the space package here is. So he's playing a system. So depending on the space package of the dark side player, this could mean a little bit of advantage for WHAP, but probably not, because ROTS Maul is... Yeah, it definitely comes down who wins the throne room, probably. What is... Only token space. Yeah, they can't do... I think they can't do shit against those capital starships. But yeah, we will see. Waiting for them. Use the time to get some fluid in. I'm not an expert in any of those 4 decks, so I don't like mains very much. I don't like it to play, so yeah, if I talk some shit or I'm totally wrong, you can correct me in the chat, and I would appreciate it. So yeah. I should have started the stream a little bit later, but anyway, doesn't matter. We're just waiting. Yeah, we can do some trash talk. Garrett, not like mains is wrong. At least the sound is working, obviously, if you heard what I said. So that's a good one. We could. Is there any interesting game? If I say no, then everybody is saying, "Oh, why do you say that's not?" That's definitely an interesting game here. But I don't want to miss the start of the final confrontation. There we go. I could join the table. No, I'm not in the league, probably. He has an alt account called Kessling. Damn. Didn't know that. There we go. There's WHAP. We have a plan against, I think it was ROTS Maul, wasn't it? So there will be the landing site. And probably some activation like, yeah, Jabba's Haven to pull the system, Null Hutter, then this one to pull another system, and then he might sack it for another effect. I haven't taken a look. I haven't taken a look at the list too closely, so could have checked what effect it will be, but we will see anyway. So this one to pull weapons. Wookling, the classic. And this is the same picture. There we see the system pull. And Yoshi, Sam is pulling Rendili. Let's see what the leadership will pull. General Kenobi. And we will probably see that the light side player will come down early here, move here, and then use his interrupt, which he can pull to then relocate to his throne room and hopefully control it for the rest of the game. But that's not easy against ROTS. The usual suspects are pulled. Grabber, shield. I should have checked if any one of those plays a lot of sense, because they're both decks which could be running sense. And nothing feels worse than an interrupt of you getting cancelled with sense without you having the shield out. So Darkseid is trying to get some activation, pulling aside with his Darkseid Chapabella's game text, then deploying Rendili, then if his Null Hutter is in the reserve, he will pull Null Hutter. If not, he at least knows that it's active. And already a second pull out for Darkseid. So what is YCHF? Dark Jedi Knight 11? All these shortcuts? What? Ah, you can't hide forever. So there is the Nalhada pull from reserve. Feel good. It feels good to not have it in hand. You don't want to have those cards in hand which you can pull. And then just drawing a bunch, probably to 14. They know the lists, so if they play Grimtash or Monarch, they would draw to 12, but if not, why not draw to 14? Because 15, the other one could pull a shield, but yeah. If he has some used interrupts, he can put down. He could also draw up a little bit more. Depending on what he's looking for. Maybe he saw something active when he checked his reserve deck, where he said, I need to have this. But check this out, Darkset already at 14 activation, and this doesn't even count the Camino Lightside is probably gonna pull. So yeah, activation will be no problem in this game for both players. So he probably will go to 60, maybe even 17 after Lightside has pulled his stuff. And 3 system is actually very good for having so much systems out is very good, because I saw on the list that he's running 3 capital starships. So if he wants to satisfy battle plan, it's good to have a bunch of systems out where you can run and either run away from the ships or deploy where they are not, and hope that they didn't draw their 3rd ship. And capitals are expensive, so which one? Isn't there an effect which can deploy the capitals with a matching pilot? So yeah, as predicted, going down here. Hopefully having Padme. And oh, that's actually big. So he can't move in, which would be a non-battleground. So yeah, now he's open for attack. 2 for 2, you jerk. Is this an insider? Okay, Yoshi was drawing up because he knew that it is what in his reserve deck. So what I was talking about, he might draw just to get a specific card, and maybe Barrier was that card. And if they know the deck lists, they also know if the probability of a Barrier canceller. But no anti-sense shield before playing the Barrier, before knowing that you will play the Barrier, also tells me that either both of them are running sense or none. I should check after the game maybe, but it's all speculation. So Yoshi's at 16 activation now, and Mike at 15. And also just drawing a bunch. We might see our first battle turn 2. So will he save the one? Probably. At least as a bluff, even if you don't have some. Ooh. But he can activate one, I think. I'm not very used to map, as I said, WAP, but I think something lets him activate one. Might be wrong. 18 force to work with. That's the German TH, if you say with. TH is very hard for us to pronounce. Another side pulled. But most of the action will take place here, I guess. So 18 activation. You are down in tracking range pretty fast. And if you can track, which both of they can for 2 turns, you can start tracking right now with putting down at the bottom of a car a good destiny you have, or a low destiny if you play Naprun leads. But yeah. So he's not going for the battle. He's just taking the time to say, okay, I'm going to Throne Room. I'm stacking cards here because you have to move there first. And I can drain here and then bag it up. So he's pretty safe here alone. Draining for 2. And then it all comes down who wins those battles in that throne room. Probably will drop to 14 again. Maybe even higher, because for the shield to put cards down, he needs to have 3 force saved. And then it's only at the end of a turn. Nope, stays at 14. Did he already pull his always 2? They are. Let's see. Nope. Didn't make the pull yet. So now we will see if Mike decides to try to fight the throne room. I think it's too early to give it up and spread out, because Yoshi didn't commit to the side yet. If he would have totally committed his best characters to that side, turn 1 or turn 2, you could also say, okay, I give you that one, and I just try to win without flipping anywhere else. But that's too early, I think. Depending on his hand, of course. You definitely want to have those weapon targeting cancelers and all that good stuff. We probably see a grab here. Yeah. Maybe he wants to go to space and says, okay, I give you the side. I'm going to space and drain here at Camino for 2. But then probably Sam would try to fight off General Kenobi there. What did he? Admiral Yularen. In 40 minutes, we will be joined by Justin Branch. Hopefully in time for the second game. Then he can talk and I just... you see my picture, but he's talking his very well... how to say? He can talk in a manner that I couldn't. He has fancy words. I always have to Google what he means and so on. So I need an Oxford dictionary to understand him. Articulated. Oh, is it the right? Very well articulated. So we're seeing a shield pull. Just to cycle the interrupt. He still has normal. He still has enough shields to pull here. And if it's just to make him use a force when he wants to retrieve a starship or alien. He has multiple ways to get a starship back. Yoshi, he can just use this effect, put him out of play. But that would give every interrupt stacked here back to the opponent. Does nothing at the moment because we don't have lightsaber there, which could increase the drain. But it tells me that he definitely wants to go to space probably first. Or he wants to get rid of hand cards to just draw a bunch more. You guys are funny. The German smile. We Germans never smile, usually. I have an exception to the rule. Okay, no space, no battleground occupation, just here, the non-battleground. Oh, Justin just writes me that he's a little bit delayed maybe, so we will see. We will see if he can join or not. So you have to stick with my smile and my broken English. Ooh. Yeah, he's drawing up to 14 as the other one because he has 5-4 saved. So if he draws to 15 with no used interrupt in hand, we would definitely have seen a shield pull here to get him down to... I have to check that if it's... I think it's 9 or 8. But then the other one could block the same shield to save 2 cards in hand. He doesn't want to get removed. Yeah, so better stick to 14 cards. And this also means that Sam definitely has to back up that side. And if he overcommits here, it could be a valid option to just move out again with Kenobi and spread out to different sides to say, okay, it's match play. We'll just make it drain race. So we will see what Sam is deciding to do and then how Mike will react to it. Dan already says that Mike Throne room reaction. What Mike should do. Dan, I think you should work, shouldn't you? I never have the time to watch Star Wars at work. But I'm a teacher. I'm not working. I'm not working until afternoon. Okay. Sam says what I said Mike could do. Sam does it. He says, okay, I'm spreading out. If you get the throne room, I'm draining you for 2, 4. Nah, if he... Yeah, not as many phase inactive. So we will see. Probably has a Gilk in hand because those guys are pretty vulnerable to any kind of clash or blaster prophecy. Yeah, stunning leader could be a thing. That's true. But imagine, I mean, they know their list, but imagine if light set player has some ability too, guys. Like, if I would play Rebel Strike Team here, which, of course, Mike is not, and I would go here with all my ability 2 guys, and then I would play Blast the Door Kits and would exclude this little guy here and lay down a crazy beatdown on this lone tax collector. But yeah, it's not Rebel Strike Team against ROTS Maul, it's WHAP against ROTS Maul. 25 force. Next turn, if he activates enough, he could already draw up if he wants to, but it's not going to do that. Yeah, Joe says no one replaces the strike team. He's right, but I'm at design now, so we will make it tier 0. Here's the Scanton guns, Bloyface, and we will definitely see a battle attempt here. But yeah, stunning leader could be a thing here too. And this is the thing, if you're really a stunning leader and he doesn't have the Canceller, he probably is playing quite a mercenary V. But I don't want to check now, because we could see a battle at any moment. And if he now excludes them and threatens a drain here of 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3, holy macaroni. It's I have to use a computer to calculate the drains there. 3, 5, 7, 9. He would eat a drain of 9. Okay. He's spreading out. He can't have two stunning leaders though. Or he could. And he already used the grabber. So is it I would have to check if it's a unique interrupt, or you could play unlimited stunning leaders. So it's non-unique. Yeah. So he could play 2. He could play foil if he with 4 force. So we're still gonna see a drain of 2, 4, 7 next turn, or maybe if he walks out after the battle, less. But no stunning leader, just the exclude of Padme. Oh, there is the stunning leader. Was still both were a react. So no flip this turn. This is huge. Just we need to see if there is another one. And no cancel of the stunning leader. Nope, just got one. So this not bad for Mike now. So he gets rid of the drain bonus guy. He gets rid of both actually. He doesn't lose something because he won't get overflow either, because he will add to his total battle destiny with his weapon destiny draws. So 2 destinies were drawn, so +2 total. So he clears this side, then he can move out to block the Maul drain, or move in to block the Shizor. Shizor? It's how I would pronounce him. Drain. So we just would eat a drain of 3 or 4, depending how he decides. Okay, there is one overflow, even with the added to total destiny. Or will we see they're tracking us? Nope. So 1 overflow. So Sam made extreme pressure. The downside of it now is that he doesn't have enough guys probably to challenge holding the throne room. He has probably Aura Singh. What else could he have? Mara. We will see. So Sam decided to walk in that he definitely doesn't lose his Jedi. That will enable a drain of maybe it's -1, I think. Yeah, of 2 next turn if they don't fight here. And if they do, he could have tricks like Clash or a Blaster Prophecy. And next turn, we might see attack on space. But it's hard to speculate if you don't know the hand. But he, with a 14-card hand, you should have at least something. And Sam has 9 cards now. 1 he got rid of, put it down with Folom. So that's good. He pulled his Ascanton Guns with a side text, and he can actually use it because, as he used interrupt, because a guy is at his side. One of my favorite interrupts, especially if you play decks where you expect the opponent to come to your sides. what he could have think about, but you don't know. Maybe he knew his his top card, but he has weapons on both sides. So if it's an easy hit, you don't really need the high destiny on the top. So sometimes, depending on the situation, it could also be valid to wait for the battle phase, to then swing first at a guy who's easy to hit, and then use the cannon guns to get your big destiny on the top. Especially pre-drain, but maybe, yeah, maybe he wanted to cycle it right away, and maybe he knew the top card, so you never know. So we will see if there's a verify. Nope. Oh yeah, he knew that there is Phantom Menace. Don't know if he plays Nabrun leads, because then with Phantom Menace, is there something? Which prevents the interrupt? I don't think so. Don't want to give up on the throne room. There is the Aura thing I was talking about. So I don't think we will see a battle, but we could see oh, yeah, we could see a battle here. He could try to swing at Ubi, but I don't think we will see a battle, because he also has only 3 force left, and he would draw 2 to swing, and then 2 to destiny, because he can add a destiny. Also, this could screw his whole turn up if he's something like a blaster deflection. So I think it's just blocking and saying, nope, if you want to get your throne room, you have to commit a little bit more. So my prediction is we don't see a battle this turn, at least not from the dark side player, because he's happy. Yeah, how this game is going at the moment. And as a light side player, I probably, depending on my hand, would try to kick him off space. Okay, we already see a Clash of Saber. This could mean that he doesn't have Blaster Deflection. And he's afraid of another play, because he could also have excluded just Aura Sing. I wonder if we would have. I don't think we would have seen a battle either way, even without the clash. Okay, this game text says you can move to any Jabba Palace side. So, yeah, Jizor just used the tunnel to flee from the Jedi. Is this an English word? Flee? To hide, to run away. So he saved 5 force. He's either having or bluffing another barrier for anything which Mike could throw at, like Shizo or the Boba Fett in Slave 1. So he's not paying to drain. So there is something expensive coming in. Maybe a capital starship. And will there be the barrier for the 4 force? Or not? There will be. And there is a sense. Damn it. It's getting interesting. And there... Okay, as I said, if they run both sense, we don't see sense shields. But then I probably would have pulled at least the shield which makes your sense used after it's cancelled. Wise advice is the light side version. Oh, there is a sense shield. How could I miss that? Interesting. I have to take a closer look at those lists. Okay. If Darkseid has then makes sense, Joe, thank you. I will think about that. If Darkseid has more sense, then yeah, it makes sense to pull the shield. What a wordplay. But only Yoshi had to lose the 2 force, of course, because only his sense was successful. So how much ability does this... Only 2. So if he throws his ability 3 guy down, his Yularen, he's only had 5 ability. And didn't Yoshi's list run Sakas? Which would make the total battle destiny 0, and then he could actually even attack space. Is there a t-shirt on the line? Because you talk Crazy Carl, he must want that t-shirt. That reminds me of Worlds. I have to get a t-shirt from Hayes. I beat Hayes twice. So we... At the moment, it would be a drain of 1 because of the ad, but there is Menace Fades out. So if the Lightset player in my Kessling gets the control of the system and he controls the site, Menace Fades would be active. Okay, 1 more guy to make it ability 7 and he should be pretty safe. Nope. Okay. Is there anything which prevents the suckers thing? That was a rhyme, by the way. Okay, he's given up the throne room. He says, okay, you committed to my side. I will spread out probably also to this side to drain here. I think yeah. Okay, he's eating a drain of 2 here at least. Is Iverson still clashed this turn? I think this turn not he used it. Nope, I think he could attack now. But I I don't know if I would have done this, but I'm not the WHAP player. So maybe I mean he knows his hand. He probably doesn't have any defensive interrupt in hand. He says, okay, I spread to here. I maybe block here, but it's not even safe here at the system. Because if he comes down with Sakas, which I think he plays, I would play it if I play ROTS. And I scrolled over the list briefly, but yeah, I must have to check again. Yeah, Joe, that's what I was thinking. He committed a lot of stuff here, but still, this stack doesn't seem too scary if you have a defensive interrupt. But if not, yeah, then definitely go away because he will hit, especially with the tracking of the forlorn. See you later, Joe. And moving away and saying, okay, we do a drain race, you drain me, I drain you, is better than getting beaten down, of course, because it's match play, you don't want to lose. If it's game 2 and you have to play risky, you would play totally different than if you just want to be in the game for game 2. And also, if he can put a lot of 7s down, maybe he was also afraid of not even his guy getting hit and killed. Also, he could be a Destiny of 14. Maybe. And especially with the leadership being grabbed. So maybe it was the right play. It came by surprise. I have to say that. Haven't seen that coming. But also, this Shiso don't have as much good options now. I mean, you don't want to go here. You could go here. Okay, Sam is saying, okay, we're playing that game. I'm spreading out on Naboo. You're spreading out on Tatooine, but I can block your trains much easier. Will we see a battle in space or not? Because if he has Sakas and if he tracked a 7, okay, it only gets rid of. He's nothing to add, I think, to the total. Nope. He will run away. So his hyperspeed is 4. We have 7. He is 3. So he could reach this, and that's a 2, but he doesn't reach this, right? Nope. They've basically the same hyperspeed. So I had to write something. My wife was writing me that she's going to bed and she knows that I'm streaming, so she don't want to come in and interrupt. So where we at? Move phase. So he's probably going with both there. Nope. That's also interesting. He definitely knows his destiny here and knows, okay, even if you get the +2 from the swing, you might even get, like the battle before, overflown by 1 and have to peel 1. So that, I guess that's a 7. So what are the options for the Lightsail player? He definitely will clear this one. He definitely will drain here. He should plug a shield, by the way. He will drain for 3 here. Doesn't he add to drain? Might want to drain. Nope. Battle. Okay. Then don't need the shield. Drain here, then probably move. Try to block the non-battleground drain. It's getting interesting. It's a lot of stuff and a lot of options you have and want to do, but probably not enough cards and force, to do them all. It definitely will be a close game, either way. Sam loses everything from top of reserve, so that wasn't a 7. He lost Comscan and Dark Time, one of the most important cards in that matchup, but only if Lightside managed to flip. Kit Fisto. Another one who can enable tracking. You can use 1 force, so you could, like if you know the top card of the force pile, you could track that by using it. Another Imperial Barrier. 3 barriers. And those grabs. To have grabbed the barrier, all this feels a little bit bad if you also have this grabber, because he makes the barrier lost interrupt. And then you didn't get rid of it. You would have get rid of it anyway, but there at least he has to use force. But yeah, he had 5 force to use, so. So when we see a battle here and here, He can't spread out. He doesn't have enough force. So maybe just blocking. We might not see a battle at all. Yeah. If he now spreads out, he still has his Menace Fates active, so there is a drain of 0 at the Jeppes Palace Audience Chamber. There is a drain of 1. So we will see a drain of 3 in total. Yoshi is still thinking about how many cards he wants to activate. And how many times he wants to battle. So he's activating 8 force. This could either mean he knows his destiny and definitely wants to hit Kid Fisto, or at least have a good destiny at the top to crack the immunity of 5. Or he needs a lot of destiny for multiple battles, which is a little bit unlikely, but possible. So there is the drain of 2 at the throne room. And then we will see the drain of 1 at Null Hutter. Disarmed. So I like those little cards which you don't see every time, but Disarmed is, yeah, makes sense, is played in a bunch of decks. But still. So he is power -1 and doesn't have a weapon anymore. Also has no immunity. So we probably see no battle here unless he knows he has like at least a 6. At least, yeah, because if you have a 5, you always have to calculate in the tracking us. And he already lost his dark time to not let him manipulate the destiny. So this should still be a 0, yes. So he drained here and added 1. But Menace Fates cancels the bonuses. And this even works. Yeah, Yoshi doesn't know what's up, but Mike will tell him Menace Fates. So this negates the text here that cancels can't be modified or reduced, but it just shuts down any drain bonuses, and it's not a modification of this specific drain. And Mike says, okay, the card just paid for itself because he had to deploy it to now not lose 1 force, but maybe it saved him more in the long run. or will save in more. So we might see a battle here, probably see a battle here, because one card of dark side player should survive here. So he has to block the drain again next turn, Mike. So Garrett is putting in the rule in the chat why Menace Phase works. I just knew that it works. Why it works? I mean, it works. So this is a bold move. But he probably has the Gug anyway, so he could get rid of one, forfeit 0, then a big destiny, which adds 1 from the Maul guy, which would be a destiny of, yeah. Maybe would get rid of 3 characters if everything works perfect. And that would be worth the Gug, of course. Less battles than I would have expected knowing the matchups. So it's more like a chess game. Because you can't think about the outcome of the battle, you always have to think about what's coming back. So like it's not worth winning that battle here if he has a Gug and you lose 3 guys, and then you stick there with 1 guy and he comes back and counterbeats you. So, but Lightside could also do that if they have the Hurchiks in hand. So a lot of the things, if you want to take a battle or not, depends on your hand cards, of course, and the state of the game. So if you have to win, and if you have to reach a certain threshold to get him under a force number, and you have to take the risk to make that work, you take the risk. But in game 1, usually nobody wants to take too much risks. Lightside player will only drain for 2 here. Only 1 drain. Solo is still active, by the way, so I didn't pay attention enough to see which interrupts are in the lost pile here. But any one of those could be played once from solo here. So he's getting a second ship back. What does it cost? 6 to deploy. And Yularen is one of the matching pilots with he pulled quite a while ago. And he can't have another barrier because even if he would have to pay 5 force, I think. So if he would kick Sam out of space, this would be huge for him. I think Yularen is deploy 3. Maybe even -1, depending on his game text. Yeah, it's deploy 3. How much forfeit does he have? Ooh, that's risky. But if you get rid of it, you might even be okay when he draws the 7. But then we will definitely see a retrieval of the ship here, and then he will go there again. But he might have to skip one. He might even not have to skip one drain, because it's not that expensive. He can drain for pay 3 and then just deploy it again. So we have a total of 8. He covers 7, so we won't see any overflow here, I guess. So at 18, he needs a 4 to not get overflow. It should be... Ooh. Do we see the Sith Fury? It's a 3, so 1 overflow. So all his Sith guys are destined +2. And Justin says he's here now. So I can actually call him. I write him on Slack that I will call him on Discord. Or just, I think I can also, yeah, Discord probably. So, and you tell me if you hear Justin, right? When I called him. Justin, are you here? I can't hear you. Maybe you muted your microphone. So I can't hear Justin. I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. So now maybe the other can hear you now too. Can you confirm in the chat if you can hear Justin?
Oh, okay.
So everybody can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll have a look at the game now. Thank you.
Yeah, we have less battles than I would have thought, seeing the matchups. But okay. Mike just kicked Sam out of space, and if we probably he deploys no escape from hand to take Boba Fett into hand. So I would have thought that he will retrieve it, but he had no escape, so he probably will pay to drain here, and then probably will come down to Rendili with his ship again. And now he can talk.
Is he playing ROTS Maul, or I haven't seen yet? I'm just
ROTS Maul against WHAP.
Oh, okay, fine. Right. Oh, I'm in now. Thank you. So, okay. So it looks on the face of it like WHAP is. How's it doing? It looks like it's going to win.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, it's match play, so WHAP is threatening a drain of 3. And
holds space though, doesn't it?
Yeah, and has Menace Fates active, so but now
okay. Sam goes to space, yeah. Menace Fates is a good card here. So they never got to the throne room. Sam made sure that Mike got in.
Yeah. So there was a barrier turn 1 on the Obi-Wan, so then he played his Sith here. And after those 3 guys, he decided to move out with Odin's combo. So
Yeah,
that was basically.
Yeah. So, what are we looking at?
So can you just confirm in the chat that you hear Justin loud and clearly, or shall I make him louder?
Yeah, I can talk like this. I can talk louder if needed.
No, I can make you louder. You don't need to talk louder. So
you can shout. Okay.
Louder.
So,
okay, they
louder.
want you to have louder. So you get a little bit.
So why is Sam saved 3/4? Antilles maneuver, maybe?
Is this better? The loudness?
Okay. So we're likely to see Mike battle in a few locations here, I'm guessing, aren't we? I imagine he'll battle with what, Kit Fisto and Qui-Gon?
Yeah, but he will definitely risking losing him because we have a Fallen here, and we have to expect that Sam knows his destiny.
Yes, and I imagine then that Mike will move in front of Rendilly with one of his, probably with the Resolute, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't seen the second ship yet, by the way. We haven't seen, I think it has to be Sakis.
Oh, okay, right, I see. Oh, he loses a Phantom Menace off the top.
So I shall ask you if you could maybe speak proper English and not that funny accent you're using.
I'm doing my best. I do apologize. What do we think? So he can leave Anakin there. That's not doing any harm. But he probably needs to battle with Kit Fisto and Qui-Gon, and probably against Maul. But I assume a Maul strikes is likely, isn't it? If we haven't had too many of them.
I haven't seen a single Maul strike yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that's why they never activate everything, even if they don't want to battle, because then
Maybe.
a Maul strikes could ruin the whole party.
Yeah. Well, I think he's only saved 5 Force, but you imagine that Qui-Gon will clear here. Have we had a Gick yet from Sam?
So Justin, if you could make use yourself a little bit louder, well, I think I made you at maximum. They would have to go to the settings and add a limiter.
I can talk louder. Yeah,
okay,
I can shout.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's fine.
So there is another stunning leader. It's the second one, by the way.
Yeah. And there's no point grabbing that, obviously, because it's just going to go lost.
Yeah. I was already talking about why the barrier grab might feel a little bit bad when you have the grappling hook, which could also would also make
Yes. I think that's a fair point. But the extra cost in barrier might have reduced him being able to do other things.
Yeah. But this extra cost is much more worse in the late game because you see the activation 19.
Yeah. I'm just surprised he took that card with Kit Fisto, because he could have battled at both the courtyard and then at Jabba's palace, which I think he probably should do.
He might not swing with Kit Fisto because I mean there is no really a benefit in swinging.
But you force out a Gick, so it's another card, isn't it?
It's just not able. It doesn't make forfeit 0. The weapon. It's just making.
Of course, it's just
attrition, so it's It's not really.
No.
But he could lose his Kit Fisto now. So if he draws a 5.
Well, he'll cancel it. Oh no, he's not flipped.
No. Course, maybe they're tracking us. So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A low one.
So he should pull that out with Forlom as soon as possible.
Okay. I imagine with 3 Force left, then that Mike will battle at Tatooine at the palace.
Yeah. And then we could see him all strikes if he used all his force.
It's possible. Yeah. Either way, I don't think it matters hugely. It's just getting cards out of Mike's hand, isn't it? Oh, he's just going to move.
Oh, he's moving the Jedi away.
That's interesting. Okay.
So
And
maybe he was expecting that.
He's going to move the ship, presumably, in front of Bobber. Okay, he's going for the spread. Activates force. Maybe his destiny weren't that good then in that case, and he didn't think he would hit Maul.
Yeah, and Sam is down to 9 in life force, so
Yeah.
the movement cost is not something which you always have to save a lot of force for moving.
Yes.
So at the moment he will still eat a drain of 2 in the chamber, 1 from Menace Fates at
which is surprising because he didn't have to do that. He could have just faced off against Maul, couldn't he?
Yeah.
But he knows his reserve deck, and we don't.
Yes, and he's threatening a drain of 2 and 2, and he is only a drain of 1. But that drain of 2 hurts here.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, you just move Zizor over, don't you?
You could move to which side, you mean?
I suppose if he's got a Lana Dobreed tracked and he can draw a Arica for 1, that would be a cheap move out of the throne room, wouldn't it?
Couldn't he, during move phase, alien may move here, so he can't transfer his Maul to here. Only aliens.
But he could do as you said, like he did earlier. He did was it a Lana Dobreed, and he's got a 1 where he knows where the 1 is now.
No, he did the Odin. So the Lightsaber player made
Odin.
The Lightsaber player moved from the throne room, his stack, to the Chapel Palace side.
But Sam could do that potentially as well, couldn't he?
Yeah, but I think the 1 is the second from the bottom.
Yeah, we shall see. The only battle really that Sam could take on here is against Anakin, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. And so he could do that. He could swing with those 2, then use his Forlum to get the Arica.
Yep,
Arica. Yep. And then draw the bottom card as Destiny. This could be a thing.
Mike going to lose from hand here, do you think? No? Have we got to that stage?
He's losing Hujix from hand. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm always...
at this point. You
maybe. Yeah.
Because also this weapon doesn't make forfeit 0, just -2.
Exactly.
And Anakin covers a lot.
1 anyway with Anakin, so... Okay. Whoever wins this, it's going to be a negligible win, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. And both players played like they don't want to risk anything.
I understand. Yeah.
A lot of movement and basically a chess game.
Okay. That makes sense. Oh. Yeah. But next turn, what's Mike threatening? A drain of 6, isn't he?
So
8 at the moment.
Okay, he can't get his Arica, or he can get, because he added the side adds 1 to Battle Destiny.
Yeah, that's neat, isn't it?
Okay, now he can draw the 2 and then use his Forlum to get Arica, because we saw a blaster deflection.
Yep, we did. Yeah, exactly. That's neat text to add a Destiny there, isn't it? I'd forgotten it did that. But you're unlikely to overflow Anakin here.
It's even with a 6.
Well, he's 12 at the moment.
Yeah, 12. So he covers 8, right? Yeah, 8. So
Anakin covers 6 and 8, so 14 before Destiny.
So now he draws 1 and adds 1 to his destiny, so it's unlikely that he...
Yeah.
So it's 16. So he needs to draw a 2, which gets a 3.
Exactly. Yeah. 14.
But still a great battle, because one of your guys will survive.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. So unless Mike has got in his 2-card hand another character, but we shall see.
It's good to know where a high destiny is, though.
Always, yeah, absolutely.
With that 5.
Yeah.
But he also knows his 6 here.
Yes. Okay.
I think this card wasn't been used.
Which one?
The retrieval.
Oh, okay. What, Jabba's Haven?
Yeah, he could.
Okay.
But I don't know if there is any interesting alien in there at the moment.
Yeah. At this moment, it doesn't really matter. Any alien will do, really, won't it?
Yeah, there's definitely alien in there, because he lost 2 here. The one who can pull Aura Sing, and the one who adds 1 to drain. So just to lose it to a drain for the drain race.
So let's see how he moves on the ground. So at the moment, it's a drain of 5 that Mike is threatening.
He could definitely move here.
Oh, that's an interesting move. He's got a shield still to play, so I imagine he'll play Ultimatum.
He doesn't need Ultimatum, because this Saber... I checked that before, because I also thought it only adds at Naboo Battleground. So it's just a drain of 2. But he would have enough.
He needs to keep a force back for another stunning leader, I assume, against Zizer. 1, 2. So it's, at the moment, though, it's still a drain of 2, 4, 7, isn't it?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Ooh, that hurts.
That is, a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Mike still might be able to win here by a few force.
And he drains for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if everything works good, but he can block this drain.
Kit Fister will move over.
Yeah. He can block this drain, and we will see if he can also block this drain.
If he can block the Camino drain is the big one, isn't it?
But if he can block this one, he deployed a card from hand.
Yes.
Which means that he will definitely lose the other cards either from hand or has to peel at least 1 more from the reserve deck.
Yes. Well, you want to try and get to the 6, presumably. So that's sitting on top, maybe. We'll find out.
So both had the Huchiks or Gook.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because this move was pretty bold.
Yes. I'm wondering what did he fall on for there? Or maybe he just wanted to get the 6 to the top.
But it's another drain of 2.
Yeah.
And he had the Dark Strike.
And first strike. Oh, that was Used Pile's first strike. He never got to that. And from hand, presumably. No, is he going to turn it from reserve? Okay.
There is Sakis.
Yeah, he's only left himself, but with... Oh, okay, he's going to grab that. And then he's going to probably try and...
retrieve it or something.
Yeah, I imagine Sam will probably try and get another because he's only got 4 force. It's not, well, he's down to very little now, actually, isn't he? So Mike doesn't have to do too much, actually. He just needs to block a few drains here, doesn't he?
There was the 6. Yeah, and if I mean,
I imagine he'll battle against Zizor, because why not? Even with 1 destiny, I think we know it. Is it a 5? Do we know it's the 5?
the 5 was the second from the button, I think. So
okay.
It wasn't the 5.
So he's not even going to bother. So has he got enough to deploy in front at the birthing center? That's the question. He does.
Yes. He does. That was not a yes, like you who don't have a horse in the race here. So
no.
Yeah.
So he's got
he has
2
a
force
card
to move, and I assume he now moves Kit Fisto for free, because Kit Fisto moves for free. He'll move Resolute over in front of Bobber.
And probably even one of his guys out to Jabba's Palace.
Is it even worth it, to be honest?
Because he can't swing. So, I mean, you want to... Might not be worth it, but don't you want to finish the game in next turn?
I think he will anyway, won't he?
1, 2...
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't move into the
3,
hallway.
4. It's only
Why did he not move into the hallway with Kit Fisto?
Maybe he wants to threaten a drain of 2, but then just Aura Singh walks out and blocks it.
Yeah, but...
Is it moving for free?
Yeah, the site text.
Yeah. Maybe he can't even get hit. So
to be honest, he's doing 5 anyway. So I think he might as well have moved in. I think he might have saved 1 force potentially, but
Why does he doing 5? Because
2.
he makes 2 here, 2 here.
2 in space, 2 at the landing site, and he'll do 1 in front of Bobber, won't he? If you leave Bobber, he'll get overflowed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So, and if he moves away, it's 5, yes.
Yeah, so you might as well move Kit Fisto in and save 1 force, I think, but it's marginal.
You're right.
But you'd imagine, though, that Mike will lose from hand here, because there's no reason not to. I think it's just a shape. Yeah, he's going to have to lose 3.
So it's probably a win.
By 8?
By 8, I think.
Yeah.
He grabbed that.
Yeah. After Sam drains, I imagine he just draws up here.
He could save 1 more turn to get another drain of 2 in, but that means he will give away this one.
I don't think he'll get another turn, though.
Yeah. So he could retrieve with his Jedi, and he could retrieve with this effect one of his ships, but then he would get the...
But then he gives the force back to Mike.
Yeah.
Lose from hand, Mike, if you want to try and keep your difference.
Unless you have used interrupt.
Used pile. It looks like it's going to be only 7 then, maybe.
Maybe as a used interrupt.
We will see. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So there is the retrieval. So he definitely is not going to draw up now, because he has to use a force.
No.
But there is no reason. There's no retrieval here.
No.
So there is no reason to draw up.
No, I think he's done okay. He's taken 1 extra force from Mike anyway, hasn't he? I think that he probably needed to.
So he eats.
What's Gallid to drop? Gallid is deploy 3. Okay, so we can't even deploy him in front of OB. Yeah.
So we will see probably a moving here.
Well, he needs to move Aura Singh over, doesn't he? But I think whatever happens, it's...
Aura Singh to Kit Fisto.
Yeah, so it's a drain of 4. And then I assume Mike does he do battle in space and then Sam can't afford to drain?
Okay.
So he's got to move Bobber, hasn't he? So he can afford to drain. Oh, he's moved Maul.
And then probably Shiso. It's a little bit.
Yeah, but it's now he's got 6 force and it's a drain of 6 on the table though. 2 in space at Camino, 2 at the landing site, and 2 at the courtyard.
And 2 here.
Yeah, so I think it's 7 for Mike anyway, isn't it? By the looks of it, whatever Sam does.
Okay, he doesn't move, so that's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then it's over.
Yeah, exactly. And Mike's got a card in hand. I'm sure he'd like to try and do something with.
Unless he has Maul strikes now. No, that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's just for the fun of it. It's getting 1 card more in the lost pile from for the Lightset player.
Very true. But I think Mike could have won by 8, not 7 here quite easily.
Oh,
nice. That's a nice card.
Yeah, that's nice. So he's getting actually him down a little bit more.
Yeah, down to 6 now. Okay.
And there is the Maul strikes.
There's the Maul strikes. Which I imagine Sam might
just
win
for
this.
the lost pile.
Just for the lost pile, as you say.
But there is an interrupt. They're tracking us, used by Solo from the lost pile. And then it might backfire, and it's 1 more card in the lost pile for Sam.
Yeah. Oh, you would have hoped for a higher one, but I don't think it matters. It's just immaterial. But as you say, Sam might end up with 1 more in lost, so we'll find out. And I think we are. He is going to have 1 more in the lost pile, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but I still think 6 is nothing, is it, in this sort of game?
No. But that's actually giving him his Fender Menace back.
Correct.
Still not enough. Still a drain of 8.
I don't think it makes any difference ultimately. And yeah, Mike should drain him out now.
I wonder if he could have survived another turn if he moves everything over 1, 2, and.
Well, he would have lost 4 and exposed himself to a battle somewhere without a gick. But so there we go, 6.
So that's GG.
Yeah, they play the next
6.
one straight afterwards.
Yeah, I think they're playing right away.
Okay.
Maybe they asking for Lilith.
Yeah. Are you going to keep your stream going, or do you want to pause and come back?
And if Sam would have won the Maul strikes, that was Brian Freddy's thing, he would have lost force from the
objective.
Yeah, so that would have get 1 more down to 5. But didn't happen.
Do you want to stop and come back in 5 minutes?
So stop the stream. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Then we just start the stream right away in 5 minutes. Yeah. See ya.
Okay.
So we're finishing the stream and then we're starting again in 5 minutes.